Hi guys, I'm Kiki and today we're continuing our playthrough of Andromeda 6. So welcome back. I haven't done this in like maybe 1 week, but I really am eager to find out the rest of the story and to just learn about all of the characters' backstories. The whole plot of the game really is very interesting to me. I don't think it's that much of a dating game, at least not so far, because we only have the choices to flirt with people, but it really doesn't impact that much, like the actual story doesn't impact it that much. But I'm actually pretty okay with that, don't get me wrong. I really do appreciate this game. I really love how the developers have made it into this beautiful little piece of art, and I really cherish it, and I would actually pretty much pay for this game. Let's continue. And last time we were starting to learn more about the backstories of each character. We talked to Rayona before, we talked to Ayame, and we got to her. So let's continue. And we're saying that I am aware Calderon and her had served together, but while I can clearly see why the captain would choose to follow a military career, it's quite hard to picture Ayame walking up one day and enlisting. Shaking my head, she hesitates a moment before speaking again. Well, it's a long story, so I'm listening, or maybe some other time. I'm gonna say I'm listening because I really want to hear all of their stories, and I'm pretty sure you guys want to hear them as well because it's just so good. So I want to hear it. I lean back against the wall, still sitting on my bed as I ready myself to listen to her story. I was born in Kitalfa. It wasn't in its best state by then already, with all the chaos caused by the most recent experiments, but it was home. I'll admit I'm not very well versed on the political nuances of how the Kitalfans tried to escape the impending doom of our home, but I know that others were D's about it. The Tilari all but kicked us out of their doorstep, but we were never really close, so I don't know what they thought was going on. And I wasn't even 10 years old at the time, and hardly anyone talks about that now. Aya pauses, her throat bobbing up and down as she closes her eyes for a moment. I don't interrupt her, respecting her pace at telling me her own story. I lost my home, but Goldis is still there. Kitalfa, on the other hand. King Fenris, though, and not trying to be disrespectful, but already being, he was a effing son of a B word. So, when Aya speaks again, it's with eyes burning with anger and frustration, venom in her voice when she says, "The king's my father's name." Oh, so she doesn't like our father. Do you know what he said when my people asked for shelter? That we could work for it, which is fair only in the mines. The same S-hole they threw criminals and whoever else they didn't like in. The same place that led our home to ruin. If it wasn't for that stupid place, they never would have uncovered that stupid substance, and we would have never decided to experiment with it, to try to weaponize it. It's just... I get it, okay? We too were to blame for our doom, but if we hadn't been greedy to the point of wanting to mess with S like that, we never would have F things up and messed with our planet's core. But it doesn't matter now. Kitalfa is gone. This was supposed to be about me, I guess. I shouldn't have started calling your father names. I didn't know him like you did or something. He had it coming, or he didn't deserve it to die like that. I would say he didn't deserve to die like that. I would definitely say that, because nobody deserves to die that way, you know, being massacred with the rest of your family. I mean, that's just brutal. Really is. So I can understand the sorrow and pain that stem from everything he's ever done, which apparently is even more than I could ever imagine. But I just can't see how anything would justify being brutally murdered along with your entire family. I'm sorry, Aya, I truly am. But I can't condone murder. If he truly did everything he did, he should have been brought to justice, not taken out like that. A sharp pain shoots behind my eyes as flashes of the palace oh my god, I didn't understand that. As I run away come to mind. The screams, the overthrown furniture, broken decor, the blood. He didn't deserve to die like that. My family didn't. Ayame doesn't say anything, but she takes a hold of my hand, her short, slender fingers squeezing it once as she gives me a small smile. No words are necessary when I look at her. It's obvious she hated my father and believes he deserved to die. It's also clear she doesn't think the same applies to the rest of my family. and I'm just glad she respects my opinion enough not to argue. With a small, quick smile, she lets go of my hand, straightening back up to carry on with her story. Well, anyway, all the young elephants were shipped off in pods for the surrounding planets despite of the lack of open doors for us. We have always been adaptable. We weren't about to roll over and die. My parents, they stayed behind with all the adults and elders, but they did put me in a pod, oh my god, with my little brother. Directed it to Goldis because they thought we'd have a better chance of making it there. You have a brother? It's only after the words leave my mouth and her face twists into a sad frown that I realize how stupid my question was. Had. I'm sorry. Aya shrugs it off and I don't insist. She'll talk about it when she's ready and I must respect that. He was 5 when this happened, so he didn't really understand what had happened when we made it to Goldis. But we were alone in some back alley from the Bronze District and there was no one else to look out for us. I had to take that on myself. Taking care of me, my little brother, making sure we had food to eat, shelter to sleep. We couldn't just waltz into a foster home and nobody would even spare us a glance in the streets. People in Bronze are poor, jobs are scarce, and you gotta make do with what you have. I ended up doing what most street kids there did, stealing. Food, clothes, toys, money, books. I would try to get anything I could from my little brother. He was growing, you know. I guess so was I, but I didn't want him to lose out on anything. I would teach him how to read, write, math. I tried to give him a chance to be someone, while depriving myself of all of it. I had no home anymore. He was my home. It was the only thing that kept me going, but maybe I never really thought about how he felt. You see, I tried to make him into the perfect boy so he could grow to become the perfect man. I never taught him the ways of the streets, despite both of us living on it for years and years. Her voice wavers and my chest tightens. Somehow, I get the feeling I know how this story is going to end. Aya continues to speak, her voice lower, her fingers drawing random patterns on my bed covers. He was growing, right? I think he was around 15 when he was turning 10. You know, boys, they're curious, naive. I didn't see it, he kept it from me, or maybe I just refused to see it when it was right in front of me, who knows. But he started doing drugs. He was a kid, Kiki. He made some friends, started hanging out with some other kids. I must have sheltered him too much. He would try anything they could get their hands on. They were just misguided kids in the end, you know? Yeah. One day I come back to our hideout and he was dead. Her expression is a mix of sorrow and rage. Oh, actually her expression is like pure rage. Oh my god. And there truly are no words to be said that would matter in this situation. Losing a loved one is horrible. Losing your only family after losing your parents and giving up your own life for his happiness. I don't know what I would have done in her place. I'm scared to know what she did. I was so angry. At him, at his friends, at me. I left, I ran. I couldn't stand saying goodbye to all I had left from my family. I couldn't stand admitting it was my own damn fault he was gone. So I did something stupid like every other grieving person out there. A broken laugh, a sad smile. I want nothing more than to reach out to her, but something keeps me in place, so all I do is watch. Oops, excuse me. I went after those kids. I didn't know them nor did I care to. I wanted to blame someone, a life for a life, and I couldn't think of anyone else to blame. I never got the chance to exact my revenge though. One of the kids was the child of a guard member. They were on my A for a second, beating me up for raising my filthy Kitalfan hands at his precious drug dealer effing kid. Next thing I know, I'm getting thrown in a cell all bruised and starving. A couple days go by and I'm already accepting my impending death, you know. It's not something you fear when you grow up in the streets, it's just something inevitable. But instead this army dude comes along and says that instead of being shipped off to the mines, they're giving us the chance to enlist. I assumed they needed some grunt work or it was some twisted form of charity they did. Regardless, I took the deal. Why would I ever give them the pleasure of shipping an illegal Kitalfan refugee to the stupid mines when I could make them give me food, shelter, and a paycheck? Besides, I didn't really have anything else to do. As if it was practice, Aya bounces off of the sad hour she had until a moment ago, moving on like it was nothing. For some reason, I don't trust the easy smile on her face. It worries me, in fact. Just how often does Aya have to act like everything is fine on the surface? All those years fending for her brother, suppressing her own feelings. That's not something that just fades away. It was easy enough the cadet academy. I wasn't the best in academics, but man did I kick A in the piloting classes or what. Once I graduated, they shipped me off to the Bronze District and I ended up in dear old Captain's squad. I might have made him suffer a bit with my antics, but I respected the man. He was a decent guy, chose to be in Bronze because he wanted to help others and all that, so I had his back. Even if he most likely ended up losing some life years whenever I got him out with me on a joyride. But isn't that against the law? That's half the fun. It's easy to imagine the captain's reaction whenever he found himself stuck with Aya on a situation like that. It's even easier to imagine Aya's reaction to that. As for me, I'm just glad they're still alive after that. His stuck-up and responsible behavior even rubbed off on me because when they effed him over, I was able to control my urge for revenge and managed to help him out, and here we are today. Zovak never did anything to me directly, but I can never forgive him for going for Calderon. I guess it's an army thing. I'll stand by my commander for as long as I'm alive. Her face might have still had that youthful smile on, but her eyes were dead serious when she talked about how she respects the captain. She didn't even seem to realize she called him commander, but unlike Damon, she didn't seem to use that term to mock him. Anyway, enough about me. I just wanted to know you're not alone here. We may be just a bunch of weird misfits with an arguable set of morals, but we've got each other's back, and that's important, I guess. Thanks for talking with me. I'd love to go joyriding with you, or I'm just a naive Pegasi. Okay. I think we're just gonna say I would love to go joyriding with you. Okay, it already sounds like a bad idea in my mind. I'm pretty sure it'll get even worse when I say it out loud, but what can I do? I'd actually love to go on a joyride with you someday. You know, we don't want people merely checking another item on letting the tip of my tongue slowly peek out of my mouth. I can't take my eyes off Aya as she watches me wet my lips before answering her. The gills on her neck trembling ever so slightly. There's something in the right that's much closer than you think, you know. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Aya cocks her head to the side, curiosity clear in her eyes. Me? Oh, we're going straight there. Oh well, actually not pretty straight, I would say. Oh my god. Her cheeks fill with color and my smile grows even larger at the blush that takes over the pretty face. Aya blinks at me a few times before burying her face in her hand and throwing a pillow at me with a groan. I can't believe I fell for it. It was so obvious, damn it. Laughter floods out of me as I grab hold of the pillow she threw, almost tearing up at her reaction. She stands up and still trying to hide her furious blush, mumbling unintelligible words at herself. So is that a no? I asked, trying to straighten my laughter. That's... Aya storms out to the door, hand hovering on the panel next to it as she turns back and pokes her tongue at me. I'd very much like to see what you do when I actually say yes to your moves, princess. It's my turn to blush at that. What would I do when she... Wait. She said when she says yes, right? Then what... That means she... Looking forward to our next one-on-one time, Kiki. Oh, I think Ayame is our choice, guys. Throwing me a final wink, she leaves my room, her footsteps echoing on the corridor just outside. I feel lighter after talking with her and determined. Stifling a yawn, I get up and head outside as well. After speaking with Aya, I can't help but wonder what the rest of the crew thinks about the whole situation as I leave my room. My dream, or rather memory, of Vex still creeps in the back of my mind. I don't know how to feel about it, about him, about how different he was when we met. His warning about leaving the crew bothers me. Was he serious? Should I try to consider it? But where would I even go? What would I do? My thoughts are interrupted when I turn the corner and find someone leaning against the opposite wall. Someone I'm not sure I particularly want to see right now, and I don't know who it is, but I guess we'll find out in the next episode. I have to cut this one short. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a really interesting episode. I really love this, and actually I'm getting my new PC tomorrow, so I'm gonna transfer like all of my data there, and it's gonna take me maybe like 1-2 days. I don't know how much time, but honestly I'm super excited, and I really can't wait to play some other games for you guys and to just share my experience of them with you. So yeah, we can form a little community and we can talk to each other and we can, you know, bond over video games, which is what I really want to do. So yeah, thank you once again so much. I'll see you guys in the next one, and stay safe, please do that. And yeah, Merry Christmas once again. Bye bye.